In this video, we'll look at how Quizzification can support students, individuals, and employees in meeting their personal learning goals. In doing so, we'll focus on ways to create materials, share knowledge, get and analyze statistics about performance and the quality of quizzes, as well as a couple of other useful features. Let's start with Jonathan. He has just graduated from high school and now wants to see if the working world is already something for him, where his strengths and weaknesses lie and what he could become one day. To do this, he first finds his way around the platform and asks for help from Thomas, the head of a German institute for competence and skill. To be able to use the platform comprehensively, we first log in. For this, we can either use the connection to the identity provider via SAML or LDAP, log in via our Google account, or classically create an account with a unique username and a strong password. In our case, we will just use a newly created user and password account. Once in the dashboard, we are directly proposed a set of courses that other learners like to play. The more we interact with the ecosystem, the more meaningful and individualized the course suggestions become. Through Explore, we get a small glimpse across the entire diversity of Quizzification. There, public courses are listed regardless of their affiliation. The global Quizzification search also helps us to efficiently navigate the entire ecosystem. We can search quizzes as well as friends based entirely on our needs. Since we are interested in STEM, let's search for it. That done, we land on the course preview. There we can select the game mode as well as view statistics of the last time, get a comprehensive description and know who created and maintained the quiz. To test our skills, we play the quiz in single player. Before we begin, we are shown the game's metadata once again. Since we are already logged in, our username is automatically entered and locked. This prevents us from accidentally changing it. Then we start with our first question. Multiple choice questions are very easy to answer, since they already show the player the correct solution, and he can get rid of everything else by the exclusion procedure. We select our answer, consider whether we are right with our decision, and then send off our final choice. Moving on to the next two items, free text question types are used to examine text for certain elements, such as the presence of keywords. Tests can be made for the absence of certain terms as well as the quality of the text using regular expressions. The closer we get to the sample solution, the more points we get. These two questions are very clear and do not pose a big problem for Jonathan. In Quizzification, it is not only possible to test knowledge. It can also be transmitted easily. All media, PDF files, and of course text can be transferred. They loosen up the flow and allow us to add contextual explanations to certain topics. The last item that comes into play is the media multiple choice question type. Here, we just have to choose which code looks like functional programming. After we have tried our luck, our points are now added up, and we are shown an individualized evaluation, which we can look at any time afterwards. Somewhat more globally speaking, every single touchpoint of every user with quizzes is captured and analyzed. Quizzification is thus able to derive statements about the level of performance, personal development, interest as well as strengths and weaknesses. This enables the recommendation of communities, advanced teaching materials and specific industry experts as mentors. Individual users see an accurate listing of all courses they have played, including a copy of the quiz at the time of the test, as well as all answers given, along with sample solutions. They can also see their performance per time, compare themselves with friends, and be informed about the type of quizzes they have played. The Quizzification team also has access to global statistics. All the data in the ecosystem flows together there. It can be determined which quizzes are trending, which players are particularly active, and where there is still potential for new content. Since Jonathan is satisfied with his individual evaluation, he wants to continue looking around the STEM environment and play new courses. He remembers the author of the quiz, Thomas, adds him as a friend. and asks him for advice. Thomas adds Jonathan to a group for IT-savvy people looking into cloud computing. Groups can be managed by an administrator, who unlocks courses for group participants, handles group maintenance and staff grooming, and moderates the entire chat. To all newcomers, Thomas assigns the computer science medium and difficult courses and sets the deadline for today. Jonas sees that he has been added to a group, has access to the chat, and plays computer science medium. This is a test consisting of many multiple-choice questions related to basic IT understanding. In addition, a few players have been found who want to play computer science difficult with Jonathan. Thomas has decided to start a multiplayer round and takes over the host mode. This allows to change the game significantly during the runtime, for example by giving more time or skipping certain questions. At the end of the quiz, there is still a ranking list. There, the players who have achieved a particularly high number of points are honored. Communities offer moderators and administrators the opportunity to gain insight into the performance of community members. They are based on collections of quizzes that have been previously selected and defined for members. Now that Jonas has finished the course, Thomas compares the results with those of the other course participants and suddenly sees how well Jonathan has done. He also looks at Jonathan's individual results and sees where there are still weaknesses. Thomas uses this as an opportunity to inform Jonathan directly about the results and suggestions for improvement via private chat. Content creators like Thomas can see at any time who played their quizzes at what time and with what results. This empowers them to replace problematic questions with more meaningful ones. In addition, the difficulty, quality, and meaningfulness of an entire quiz can be evaluated. This is exactly what Thomas is doing to determine how well his students have been doing with the course materials. To gather further feedback for his STEM course, Thomas has also created a new quiz. There is an additional option there to submit free text feedback. Quizzification is an open platform. Quizzes can be kept private, as well as shared with the entire ecosystem and thus the entire world. Thomas now wants to share the quiz he just created with all course participants. To do this, he copies a single-player link and publishes it to the group. It would also have been possible to generate a QR code or start a normal multiplayer game.